Here's the bottom view of the completed 1941 Rauland Public Address Amplifier. I put in new insulated 1/4 inch jacks I got from Mauser Electronics and put a .0022 RF suppression capacitor across each input from the hot terminal to ground. Also, I put in an additional auxiliary input. This has two inputs. You turn the auxiliary control either one way or the other to get one or two. The other input originally just connected back here to one of these multi-pin connectors. Also, I put in some resistors from the grid of the mic preamp tubes to ground, and these seem to help some more getting rid of RF. There's right in there. I think somehow the signal is getting rectified, the radio signal is getting rectified going into the preamp tubes, and putting those resistors in help decrease that grid leak effect. Now I think I'm ready to put the bottom cover on. I just took it out to the air compressor and gave it a good blowing out. Make sure there weren't any more any metal shavings left in there from drilling to put the new terminal strips in. So I'm going to test it and put the back cover on it, put the bottom cover on it rather. Here's the speaker jack for the Marshall speaker cabinet. The owner of this wanted to use it with a guitar speaker cabinet, so I put in a 1/4 inch speaker output. Just wired it to the 8 ohm and ground terminals of the output. Now here's the completed amp with the covers put on it. I'll try and give a little demonstration now of the guitar performance. I can't really play the guitar, but I think I can play 2 chords just enough to see what it sounds like. So let me get the guitar out and we'll test that out. Microphone is working good. Testing, test 1 2 3, test test test, test test 1 2 3, test. Got a little bit of that radio station noise, but I think I've attenuated it about as much as I can. So let me now demonstrate the guitar. Okay, I've now got the guitar. Now don't criticize this guitar playing because I'm not a guitar player. This is just to demonstrate the tone quality of it. There's a fairly clean tone. Turn up the volume a little more. Now you can also get a pretty good distortion effect with this by turning up the guitar volume control. Back down, it has more of a undistorted quality. So I think the guitar performance of this is pretty good. We'll just get the owner of this to either test it out with this guitar or test it with his guitar and just make sure it sounds like he likes it. But I'm pretty satisfied with the performance of it. The final thing I'm going to do for safety is to do a ground check of the guitar. I've got the guitar terminals hooked to one terminal of the multimeter in the continuity mode, and I have the other terminal connected to the ground prong of the plug. And I want to make sure that no matter which guitar input it's plugged into, it's grounded. And that'll assure you that the guitar will never go hot. The strings won't ever go hot in case there's some kind of a short in a tube or something. But it's very important to always plug guitar amplifiers into grounded outlets and make sure that the ground prong is intact, because I got a shock on a guitar amplifier one time by touching the guitar strings and touching something else that was actually grounded, because the ground prong was missing from the guitar amp, and that just through electrostatic charges the voltage built up on the chassis. So now I'm going to plug the guitar into the guitar inputs, and we should get a beep for continuity to ground on each one. There's one. There's two. There's three. And there's four. So now I'll just do a ground check of the metal cabinet and the phono inputs. So that makes sure that all the metal on this amp is connected to ground. And it looks like it passed the ground test good. So I think now the amp is ready to go back to its owner.